Okay, so I think the first and most important thing to explain to you guys is how the experience system in Wakfu works. Basically, how do you level up and what should you be fighting? So in Wakfu, let's go and open my character sheet. Uh, you can see I'm level 62. To get to level 63, it takes me 2 million experience points. In Wakfu, you also have spell levels. Your spells level separately than you do. So these level up based on how much you use them. So the more often you use a spell, the higher level it becomes. Now, this also means that you're going to have dead trees completely. Spells that you just simply don't use. So you can be level 62 and have spells at level 0. You also have your support skills, which do not level up based on how much you use them. They level up based off of points. Every time you level up, you get 5 ability points and 5 specialty points. These can be spent any which way to Sunday, so you can put them in HP, initiative, dodge, lock, crit, kit skill, strength, range, block, whatever you want, or even an extra action point or a move point. So those are your ability points. Your your specialty points are pretty much your passive and active bonus abilities. These are kind of like your masteries. You know, they make your class more proficient. So, for instance, you have something like the Initiator. 30% of your initiative is given as bonus damage. It has a max of an extra 140%. You have the Runaway, where when you get hit in close range combat, you have a percentage chance that you can jump back by a few cells. This actually has a trade-off, which is really bad for the rogue in my opinion, but we will get to that later. Now, the interesting thing about your spells, your normal spells, let's go ahead and close this, is that these cannot exceed your level. So if I'm level 62, I cannot have a level 63 spell. So just kind of keep that in mind. So you can't keep like uber powering up one of your in other words, you can't go all Pokemon and like, you know, make an incredibly powerful spell that can just kill anything and not have to worry about the rest of your spells. You have to kind of spread the points out all even, like. Alright, so how do you get experience? What's the best way to kind of level up? Alright, this is kind of complicated, so bear with me. There are different types of caps in Wakfu, and there's different ways to get experience. And I'll show you these via screenshot. Alright, so here we go. As you can see in this screenshot, I have a mob group in front of me that is made up of a level 10, a level 25, and a level 20. In total, the group is level 55. Alright, now if I kill these guys, granted, they're incredibly easy to kill. That's a level 10. I'm level 60. These guys can't even really hurt me, like, at all. So I take almost no damage in killing them. Actually, no damage at all in killing them. And I get 16,076 experience points. I make almost no money. I make $4, basically, off of the fight and get a few drops. Now let's say I fight something close to my level. I fight a level 55 mob, a Chaos Deckhand. Now, he can actually hurt me. He can do quite a bit of damage. In this case, not so much because the map that spawned actually gave me a pretty good layout. So he only did about 100 damage to me. But he gave me 17,795 experience and $48. So, as you can see, fighting a mob your own level grants kind of a minuscule bonus versus fighting mobs that are way below your level. At least if they're in a group. If you fight them solo, they're probably not worth anything. So there's kind of a trick. You have to find mobs that are below your level, but at the same time, the group level is near your level or higher. Now, the cool thing is that you take no damage from doing that, and that's the best way to grind in the game. The downside to that is it can get incredibly tedious and very boring. Very, very boring. So people will get bored very fast, and they're going to go out and try to experiment. They're going to be like, you know, I got to go out and I got to kill something incredibly high level. I got to get the most amount of experience, and I got to challenge myself. Well, the thing about Wakfu is it doesn't reward people to challenge themselves. And you can blame this on balance and say that Wakfu is just poorly balanced, and there are weird restrictions for that reason to keep people from challenging themselves. You can also label a few other things. But the most painful example of this is fighting mobs way above your level, challenging yourself, and getting nothing for it. Like literally, here, I'll show you. Okay, so this is a level 140 Chafer group. There's 2 lancers, an archer, and an elite. In total, it's level 140. Now, I don't really take too much damage from these guys because they have to actually walk to me to deal a lot of damage. But if they can actually make it to me, I can take a lot of damage. But they usually don't. I took about 200 damage from that group specifically, as you can see here, and I made 40,000 experience. And $63. So it was kind of nice. And you would think, well, maybe that's the best way to level up. Fight mobs that are kind of close to your level and, so on and so forth. But realistically, this is, even right now, a huge waste because I did take 200 damage. Now, this is another system in Wakfu that's kind of Skinner box-ish and slows you down. In Wakfu, you don't regen HP very fast, like, at all, in fact. You regen, if you sit down after a fight, you'll pick up between 6 and 12 HP every few seconds. Now imagine if you had 1,000 HP, or imagine if you had 2,000 HP. How long would that take you to sit down and regen your HP? It'd take you 5 to 10 minutes after every single fight. So it's not ideal to fight mobs that are close to your level, even though I did get close to about 3 times the experience from fighting that level 10, that earlier group that was completely wimpy. So, and another downside is the fight did in fact take longer than fighting that really weak group. So that's the other thing you have to factor in. Not only was it easier in terms of taking damage to fight that lower level group, I also fought them a lot faster. So I took no damage and fought them faster. So in the time that it took me to beat this Chafer group, I could have probably beaten 2 or 3 of those other groups just as fast, and in fact I would be making more experience fighting those other ones. So there is kind of a trade-off. You have to find that sweet spot. You got to find mobs that are around your level in a good group, at least their group level. You don't really want to fight mobs your own level, unless you're specifically after loot. Now here's the extreme side of this. Okay, this group right here is a level 340. And you might be thinking, "Oh my God, that's huge. There's no way you can beat that group." Well, I can. In fact, there's a lot of classes that simply can, because you're looking at all the mobs that are in that group. You got a 40, a few 45s, a few 50s, and a 60, which you would think are relatively dangerous, and they are. But anyone who knows how to use their class around level 60, you typically have a lot of your masteries maxed, so you're usually pretty proficient. So even though you can kill this group at level 60, this is what you get for it. That's right. I got no money, and I got no experience. I got 1 point of experience for beating that group. 1 point. It's soul crushing when you see that. When you reach your cap and you realize that it was an incredibly challenging fight, it was incredibly fun, but you got no experience for it. And the reason for that is that Wakfu, again, this kind of reaches back. Wakfu, the developers are, I guess you could say, they're still trying to find a balance point. So rather than let people test their limits and see how great they can be, they'd rather just simply say, no, just farm. You don't need to kill mobs way above your level. In fact, we're going to make it to where you can't kill mobs above your level. Not because they're going to be hard to kill, but because you won't get anything for it. So just keep that in mind when you're leveling up. You almost never need to fight mobs your own level unless you're after the loot they drop. If you don't want the loot they drop, then there's no reason to fight them. Just fight mobs way below your level in a much higher group. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's go back and talk a little bit about the rogue. We're going to explore why I think the rogue is the most proficient leveler in the game. Now keep in mind, I'm not saying he's the strongest class in the game, because he's not even close. But he's the fastest leveler. And it really comes down to what I just explained a minute ago. Basically, your bomb wall is what you're going to be focusing on. It's an AoE that, as each one of the creatures walks over a tile of your bomb wall, they take damage. So it's kind of a tactical class. It's kind of really neat, in my opinion. But you deal AoE damage, and you don't have to be next to the mob you're fighting. In other words, you deal AoE damage, and you don't take any damage. That is, at its essence, what makes the bomber the best leveler in the game. You deal AoE, and you take next to no damage, which means you don't have to heal after the fight, and you don't have to harvest bread after the, you don't have to go and harvest bread, basically. Okay, So what exactly are you going to need to pull this off at early levels? Is this something that you're limited to later in the game? The answer is no. At level 15, you can use your bomb wall. Now, it'll require a little bit of a trick in order to get it at level 15. You're going to need this staff. This gives you +1 control, meaning you can have one more bomb on the field. Now, the other thing you have to do is put all of your points in the beginning into Bomber Fan. This makes your bombs slightly stronger, as well as giving you +2 control, which means you can have 2 more bombs, but that's only if it's maxed out. Once you have 10 points in this passive, you will have +1 control. So you naturally have one, you have this at level 10, that gives you another one, and then the staff gives you a third. Now I have 4 right now, but that's because the spell is maxed out. But you only need 3 bombs in order to pull this off. Alright, so I'll show you how that works real quick. In the beginning, I would recommend killing larvae. They're kind of the best mobs to grind on, in all honesty. Even right now, I can get pretty good experience off of this dungeon. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so as you can see, this group is level 80. Yeah, it's above my level, and it's full of nothing but 10s and 15s. Alright, so let's see how to actually beat this group using a bomber. Now imagine I'm level 10 fighting these guys. Could I actually do it? Or not level 10. If I'm level 15, my bomb wall will deal about 10 to 15 damage for each cell they walk over. So what you're going to do is walk forward 1, and then you're going to use the blinding bomb. It costs 3 AP. That's your cheapest bomb. So put one right here, and put another one right there. Now, since mobs are attracted to your back in the game, because you get bonus damage when you hit somebody's back or their side, you can use your direction to kind of force them into a specific pattern. So I'm going to face the wall, so they all kind of come in an L shape. They walk over to the left and down. See what I mean? Okay. And then you're going to place another bomb right here. Now, if you only have 3, you can create the bomb wall like this, but I have 4, so I'm going to put another one right here. But you only need 3 bombs in a row. You can have a max of 1 extra space in between these bombs, so they either have to be right next to each other, or at least 1 space in between each of them. But no matter what, you need 3 in a row. From there, you just move away from them, and then end your turn. Now keep in mind, you're not going to deal 85 damage with your bomb wall. You're going to deal between 10 and 20 for each cell that they walk over. And each one of these mobs has between I'm going to say 75. These guys have 75, and that other one had 130. So you will have to create a few more bomb walls, because these will wind up exploding, because they blow up every 3 turns. So to direct them, again, you just do this, and then your turn. He'll walk over that. He's dead. And then he'll walk over, because again, he was aiming for my side. And I win. Now keep in mind, these mobs can't deal any damage to me, yet I made 28,000 experience in roughly about 2 minutes. Now, put that up against the 40,000 that I made against those chafers that took about 4 minutes. I would make 60,000 in the same amount of time. In other words, an extra 20,000 over killing those chafers. And again, I didn't take any damage. So, it's kind of cool. Alright, so that is how you use the bomber, specifically, and why he's the most proficient at leveling. You take almost no damage. Now, this trick is just that. It's a trick. So, more or less, it's a cheese tactic. That's the best way to explain it. It's a cheese tactic or a foo strategy. In other words, it's a cheap tactic that really doesn't work on everything, but what it does work on, it does a phenomenal job. You cannot use this in PvP. People will laugh at you and kill you incredibly fast. PvP, because keep in mind, you can push bombs, and if they push your bomb out of the bomb wall pattern, you're kind of boned. They're going to kill you, and your bomb wall is not going to do anything. Okay, so let's look at how to craft the Pilgrim Staff. All right, go ahead and press J. Now you're going to need a few different professions leveled up in order to do this. You're going to need, well, you're going to pick up Lumberjack. You get these naturally, by the way. So you start out with the ability to harvest herbs, cut down trees, mine, farm, fish, and trapper. So in order to make this weapon, you're going to need Where are you? There you are. Okay, Pilgrim Staff. You need 10 light handles, 35 hazelwood, and 8 fine sea salt. What does this mean? Okay, if you are just starting out, and this is a fresh server like an open beta, which is coming, I think, on the 9th, then you won't be able to buy any of this stuff on the market. You'll have to get it yourself. Okay, so the first thing to know is that you're going to need about 350 ashwood. Not because you actually need 350, you only technically need 100, but you have to get to level 10. So in order to do that, you're going to need about 350 ashwood to go from level 0 to level 10. From there, you should be high enough level to harvest 35 hazelwood, and then you have to be a level 10 miner in order to get your hands on any fine sea salt. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so let's go here. So you can get primitive iron at level 0, you can get tin at level 0, but fine sea salt, you have to be level 10. So you're going to have to level up mining, unfortunately. That'll take you, in all actuality, when I first started out, it took me about 3 to 4 hours to gather all of my crafting requirements to make these. I made 3 of them. So I made, I think I made 3 of them. It was either 2 or 3 of them, but I sold the extras on the market, which is also another good way to make some money. Just be careful because, sorry, didn't mean to be so loud. Just be careful because you can wind up wasting a bunch of time harvesting this stuff. You don't want to get carried away. Alright, so with that out of the way, now you know how to make the weapon. You can get it at level 15, and you can equip it at level 15, and you can start grinding at level 15. So where's the best place to go? What should you do in early game? And actually opening that was pretty pointless. I'll show you. You're going to want to go to Mount Zenit as soon as you can. And I'll show you where Zenit is real quick. Alright, you actually get the Zenit quest line. Wow, the map doesn't work in here. Fantastic. Alright, and that's another thing. Head to the Temple of Scriptures and, get this. You can get it in here. Just go inside. This is great. It's an instant teleport, and it's free. And you can use it as often as you like. It's in this book. Just walk over here. And there it is. Costs 0 Alma tokens. Buy one of them. You don't have to buy more. Just buy one. Put it in your inventory, and then drag it down to your taskbar. Now, or your skill bar. I don't recommend putting it on the initial level because you can accidentally click it, especially if you put it next to cookies or something that heals your HP. So I always recommend putting it on the second bar because I have accidentally clicked it when I was in the middle of a dungeon, and that kind of sucks. So don't do that. Let's see here, what else? Mount Zenit, that's right. So let's go back. The map doesn't work in here either. Okay. Come on. Okay, at level 0, you'll have access to the quest line. The Owl, the star right here. The Owl is the one who kind of kickstarts it. You then have to go talk to the guy on the giant gold pile, and then walk around Astrub, then you go talk to a TV screen, but it's all guided, and it basically walks you through the whole process. You should be, if you start the quest at around level 6 or 7, like if you do the tutorial in Incarnum, you should be level 6 or 7 by the time you exit. Just go ahead and pick up the quest line real quick, maybe grab a weapon. You should already have one, actually. And just do the quest. It's very easy, and you can definitely solo Chapter 1 and kill the water dragon. You should be level 13 to level 16, depending on how many mobs you grind while you're there. But you should be level 13 to 16 by the time you exit, which is perfect. And then just go out and harvest all your wood, harvest your sea salt, and then make your weapon. And you're revved and ready to go. Just start killing larvae, basically. Larva will push you to about level 21. And that's when you'll have your mastery maxed. This mastery right here. Right here, Bomber Fan. With it maxed, you'll be able to have 4 bombs on the field. Now keep in mind, the main reason that you're getting your staff is so you have your bombs early, which will help you level up. I've had a few people critique me and say, well, they don't need to waste time on, the time that you waste. Come on, open up. There it is. The time you waste crafting this thing, you could have been level 20. That's true, but look at me. I'm level 62 and I still have it. And it's been a lifesaver having 4 bombs on the field because it gives you an extra bomb just in case. So, The reason that I still have it is because it's very hard to get weapons in the game that have plus control. I mean, incredibly hard. If you look at your crafting profession, or even drops for that matter, the very next control weapon is the Royal Gobhammer, and it's like a 1 or 2% drop rate off of the Royal Gob, which is part of a dungeon. You're not going to be able to get that. Not very fast, not very easily. So there's no reason to even bother, because of the time it takes you to, pound away on him. It's just not worth it. So let's go ahead and look at the higher levels up. The next, if I even have it, I think I do. There it is. Okay. So here's the Talo. This would, if you were taking up crafting, this would be your next weapon. Not only does it give fire damage, it gives CMC. CMC is your bomb damage, and it also gives you 1 control. And I think, what is it, 4% wisdom, and some HP. Now the wisdom is bonus experience, basically, but it's level 45. I never bothered crafting it because, well, we're getting a reset. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep this. I'm gonna try to keep this video a little short. So let's see here. Let me just try to think. What else could you possibly use? I'm gonna go over the questions you guys asked on the forums real quick. Okay. Gear. Alright, so you guys want to talk... Alright. Let's see here. What is the best gear to have early level? In all honesty, you can see that I'm wearing prospecting gear, because my damage is more than sufficient enough, because again, I'm killing low-level mobs. So my prospecting is at, I think, 90%. Yeah, I have basically 190 prospecting. I can break that easily because I think... Where are they? There they are. I picked up these earlier. Well, I've actually had them for a while. And I got some other stuff too. So your gear, the stuff that you're going to want to pick up early in the game is the stalagmote stuff, which is basically what you get from Zenit Chapter 2. You got to be level 25 to get it. We're going to run over to the auction house, and I will show you what that stuff looks like. And again, my apologies. I didn't fully think out this video. I'm trying to get it recorded as fast as possible because I think the servers are going to go down either today or tomorrow. So just trying to get it done. Try to help you guys out. So here we go. S-T-A, stalag. I have no idea how to spell that. There it is. Okay. Glowing stalag cape, which is dropped off the stalagmotes. So you guys will probably recognize the weird pattern, and you'll probably know what mobs they drop from. There it goes. So there's the cape, and here's the set bonus. It's actually pretty good. You're going to pick up 2 rings. You're going to get the belt, the cape, and the chest piece. Once you have all of that, go ahead and leave Zenit, and you really don't need to return to Zenit after that. From there, you'll pretty much have the set that you're going to stick with for a very long time, in fact. You're going to have the... There it goes. You've got your staff, and you'll have your fire gear. Anything beyond that is up to you. You're going to get a lot of these little guys, by the way, by killing the Scara flies. Oh, actually, that's the next thing on the list. Okay, I'll show you guys how to solo the Scara dungeon real quick. You know what, let's just use our shortcut. There we go. Go to the outpost. Try that again. There we go. Okay. Now, the cool thing about the dungeons now, after a specific update in Wakfu, I guess a few months ago, if even that long, and I'm going to show you guys this, your handyman crafting profession can craft keys infinitely. And what I mean by that is when you're harvesting larvae, you can trade in 10 of them, or you can use 10 of them to craft an extra key. So if you can get up 10 larva skins from the dungeon while you're in there by fighting the first 2 rooms, and I don't recommend going further than that, then you'll get a larva key. basically. You'll be allowed to craft it, and then you just keep crafting it and you stay in the larva dungeon until you're about level 35. After level 35 you can probably come here, and you should... where is it? You should be around level 20 on your crafting profession, which means you can start crafting the Chinny key, which is the abandoned Scarapit key. To get that, you only have to use 7 Scarapaces. You get those off of drops, and you also get that off of harvesting mobs or dead bodies in the Scarapit. So it's kind of a cool little trade-off. You can infinitely get keys. You no longer have to fight mobs outside of that, and you get to level up your crafting profession while you're at it. Okay, so let's go ahead and mouse over these guys. Alright, so you can see that this group is 85. It's not really full of anything dangerous. When you first start out, you're going to stand right here. Okay? And then you're going to throw your biggest bomb. Okay, this is your big guy. This is your mega bomb. You're going to throw it as far as you can. Right there. Then you're going to back up 2 panels, and you're going to face up here. Now again, this is very, very important. If you face this way, these guys are going to run straight that way, and they're going to avoid your bomb wall. You don't want that. So you got to face towards them so they try to aim for your back. Alright? End your turn. He'll run that way. See how they're running down? They would not have done that naturally. Okay? Then you're going to move up 1, and you're going to use your 3 bombs. You're going to put 1 right here, and then you're going to put 1 right here. Then just walk forward. And again, you're going to face this way. You want them... see this guy? If I face this way, there's no reason for him to walk over this bomb wall. He's going to fly straight towards me and hit my back. That's great for him. You don't want that. So face this way. And there you go. 30,000 experience, $6, and about a minute or 2 of your time. Alright, you took no damage, of course. Okay, the next room is just as easy and takes actually probably less time. Alright, you're going to stand right here. You're going to move forward 1 panel, and you're going to again use your biggest bomb as far as you can. And again, you're going to want to pay attention to your positioning. Mobs are attracted to your side and your back, so face down so they try to aim this way. Alright, end your turn, and there he goes. There's number 1. There's number 2. Oops. There's number 3. And number 4. Then just put a bomb right here. Walk forward 1 panel. Put another bomb right here. Walk up. And don't be afraid to walk on this. The rogue doesn't use Wakfu points, so it doesn't matter. And then again, face this way, because again, this guy's going to fly to the side. You don't want that. You want him to walk over the wall. And end your turn. And there you go. You just beat room number 2 and made another 30,000 experience. And you got a bunch of drops. Now we're going to head into room number 3. Now, in the beginning, I don't recommend going past room number 2, because even room number 3 is annoying because of the Scaraboss. He's just frustrating. But I'll show you a tactic how to beat him anyway. So you stand right here. Move forward 1 panel. Use your 3 bomb right here, and then another one right here. Walk backward 1 step and face up. Okay, now you're going to place a bomb right here. And you're going to place another bomb right here. Back up 1, move down 1, and then again, face up. End your turn. Now, if you're wondering why those blew up before they were supposed to, because this one has 2 turns, they should still have 1 turn left. These little guys are bombers too. They're little turds. They drop on the ground, explode, and deal damage to your bombs. So just be aware of that. If you need to, just go ahead and place another bomb here or use your big bomb. It really doesn't matter. Just make sure you recreate your bomb wall, and then face up. End your turn. Now there's something really, really cool about the bomb wall I'll show you. There are a bunch of mobs in the game like this guy and the war chief that like to charge at you. The bomb wall has a really cool effect. Check this out. He'll walk forward, walk down. He didn't do it. He got blown up. I'll try to repeat that, but basically when they charge at you, since there's not a clear shot and they take damage, their charge is interrupted by the bomb wall. It's kind of cool. Alright, I guess you'll just have to figure it out, or find that out on your own, but it's really neat. Alright, so what about making keys? Well, you're going to want to harvest these. See that right there? That's a scarapace. Where'd it go? Got him around here somewhere. Oh, they're there. Okay, so take 7 of these. I've got 43. As you can see, I've been farming for a while. I've got bunches of these little guys. I got 5 of them, and I've killed enough to get the tame Scareleaf, which is the max. I can put him in my haven bag. He's actually a living creature. Means I've killed hundreds and thousands of these little guys. It's kind of funny. I also harvest chafer keys for a while, killing chafers and leveling up using chafer bones, which is another crafting, or another handyman craft. I think it's level 35 if I'm not mistaken. Where is it? Is it 30? Oh, it is 35. Okay. So yeah, it's right there. It requires 7 chafer bones, and you can craft a key. So you can actually use your grinding ability to not only level up, but you also get to level handyman, and you get to level trapper. Because trapper is quite a bit of a pain to level up. I mean, a real pain. But anyway, I hope this guide was helpful. I know we're pushing like probably 40 minutes, which is huge. Gosh, that's a really long tutorial. I'll try to cut it down a little bit, so this may not be a 40-minute tutorial when it's all said and done. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them on the forums, and I'll try to answer as best I can. And again, my apologies for taking so long on this tutorial. It really shouldn't have taken this long. So, again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them on the forums. Catch you guys later.